Free content alert. All right, so this is a different video than I would normally do. It's completely unscripted and has to do with nothing interesting for most people. This has to do with a Reddit post on the Fallout 76 subreddit, which, yikes. Extra yikes. It named me specifically, in addition to a bunch of other creators, and had this kind of attack post where they, we're saying that we just steal Reddit posts and something about how bad our content is. It's really not specifically about me. It names my channel, which is kind of cool, but it's mostly about a couple of other creators, and I'll touch on that later on. It has since been taken down. The post is no longer up, so I figured I would still address it because it's fun, and why not? And I'm bored, and I read it, and I had time, so let's do it. And I had to take screenshots because it's been removed, so this is what I was able to gather, and yeah, let's just jump into it. So it begins with this post by Shitposts Ahoy, winner, in the order of mysteries, and the title reads, Kotaku aren't the only ones blatantly plagiarizing Reddit threads. It's done by every gaming news YouTuber as well. I don't really self-identify as gaming news, but that's fine. Okay, well, benefit of the doubt here. Let's move on. To read it, let's face it, any and all coverage of the game that doesn't come fresh from Bethesda themselves or from the hands/mouth of the player actively experiencing something themselves is blatantly ripped off. YouTubers like Juicehead, why did I want to say the Juice? Anyway, The Quartering, there we go. Yong Ya and Upper Echelon Gamers. We made it. Mom, get the camera. Review Tech USA, and the list goes on and on and on. All see top voted posts here on Reddit, and then that is the material for whatever hate-mongering video they make next. No, I don't surf Reddit personally. This is a phenomenon that's emerged after my recent coverage of Red Dead Redemption 2. People send me information. Oftentimes it's baked in with a lot of their own personal bias or opinion. They send me information. It can be from Reddit. It can be from Twitter. It can be from a whole bunch of sources. A lot of the times it is stuff that's direct from Bethesda, like the 500 Atoms thing, or the, where you get the support form to go fill in, whatever. A bunch of stuff is from Bethesda as well, but it's an aggregate source for all this information. It's not like I surf Reddit. I don't use Reddit. Least of all the Fallout 76 subreddit, by the way. Anyway, they either film themselves talking in their studio. Yes. I have a fancy studio. This isn't just my bedroom. I have it's fancy studio. Yes. Or they play looped footage of themselves failing to even one-shot level 6 Scorched because they use old footage as they don't even play the game themselves. I mean, there is an element of truth to that in the sense that I've used looped footage before. You will see repeated footage in some of my different Fallout 76 videos because I got sick of the game and quit playing it when I was, I think, like level 40 something. And then most of the recording that I did was between like level 16 and then level 36 in certain live streams. And because of some of the issues with resolution, a lot of that footage was not usable. So you will end up seeing repeated footage, but the argument that they don't play the game, that's actually one I've heard parroted around the community quite a bit. Well, you don't play the game, that's why you're criticizing things. That doesn't hold up, man. That doesn't float. That's a bad argument. Anyway, moving on, we'll keep reading. All of their talking points are ripped straight from the content of these posts, or they literally just read off what is written in these threads. Now, a lot of the time, I've read stuff off of things that are written on Reddit, and I'm going to keep doing it. And I did 100%, yeah, how is that an issue? A lot of people do that. They read the source of the information. They oftentimes put a screenshot of what they're reading on screen. I really don't understand. It sounds like somebody just wants to be mad. The worst part is they aren't even liable like Kotaku. All right, when you're citing Kotaku as the good end of the spectrum, then you totally lose me. So they gladly feed into threads that get upvoted with absolutely zero merit to them and based on completely unsubstantiated claims. One perfect example of that is when Bethesda fucked up and leaked personal information. Yes, they did fuck up. They did leak personal information. And then it goes on to list a bunch of titles. I didn't make the cut there. Oh, sorry, we don't get to see Upper Echelon in one of those titles. But it names The Quartering and Juicehead. It talks about how these titles are wrong, and they claim that thousands of accounts were leaked, and The Quartering claimed that no doubt thousands of accounts and credit cards were leaked and floating online, and all these other things. So I don't know if it was thousands, but there was. This is a confirmed fact that there was a data breach, and some personal information for a group of users got leaked. So I really don't understand what their angle is here. I don't know. They just want to be mad. It's cool. We can let them have this. Let's move on to the next part of this screenshot here of this post, because it's gold. It's fantastic. These are just a few of the ones I bothered posting, as a simple YouTube search of Bethesda leak shows all of these videos. Okay? None of them update their description boxes or make new sticky comments about new information. Okay. Because they aren't really here to tell you the news. They are here to cause further outrage and to make as much money as they can off that outrage. Okay. So when there's a story and it develops over time, YouTubers, like, this isn't Reddit. YouTube isn't Reddit. They're not identical, okay? It's not the same thread that gets updated. They'll make a new video. When there's new information about a topic, if it's big enough, if it's interesting enough, if there's enough, public appeal for it, they will make another video. So, yeah, of course I'm not going to go back and edit my comments and pin new stuff every time and update my description. I don't get the fucking time for that. None of these YouTubers do. They're making, most of the time, multiple videos a day, and when there's new information, they make a dedicated video covering that new information. Just because you want YouTube to be more like Reddit so you can have all of it on one single video and have them go back and update, get out of here. No. Yeah, that's just that makes no sense. Anyway, moving on, we'll keep reading. I think that's hilarious in and of itself, as alt-right YouTubers like The Quartering. The dude is not alt-right. I've watched his stuff. There's absolutely no conceivable, credible comparison to be made between The Quartering and alt-right. But whatever, and his community are feverishly against anything SJW, and last time I checked, a common critique of SJWs was that they thrived on faked outrage culture. Seems funny that his entire YouTube channel and coverage of Fallout 76 is based on the same thing. No, when he says that there was a data leak, there was a data leak. That's the real thing that happened. When he talks about the canvas bag situation, that's a real thing that happened. Like, he's not faking outrage. This post is scrounging for outrage and faking outrage. Like, I don't know. What is this? Is this a back and forth of, like, who can call the other one an SJW more often? I don't understand. Like, I want to call this person an SJW, but then it's just like a, no, you are situation, because they're calling people that criticize Fallout 76 SJW. Oh, where does it end? What even is this? Oh my God. All right. We're going to go back to reading. Make no mistake, if you read an article or watch YouTube videos that cover English. Okay. Make no mistake, if you read an article or watch a YouTube video that covers anything Fallout 76, and it's not fresh from Bethesda or from their own personal experience, it is them blatantly misleading you and actively stealing entire Reddit threads and their content for their own videos. It's not stealing, dude. Like, oftentimes there's a screenshot of any information we do get off of Reddit right there in the video. It's not stealing. There's nobody out here like, ooh, I'm doing devious. I'm going to get that Reddit post and I'm going to make an entire video. No. They're just reporting on stuff. Like, what? What? And every time you read an article or watch a YouTube video that covers anything Fallout 76, and it's not from Bethesda, it's thievery. Yikes. All right. Kotaku, YouTubers, and even many OPs on this subreddit want to actively mislead you and cause outrage. They will take all the information put together between them and create outrage based on lies or the backs of others. I don't fully understand what they're trying to say here. I'm really not outraged. Like I've said before, I mean, there are some people out there that really like Fallout 76. I don't quite understand how they like it, but it's not for me to understand how. It's for me to give my opinion on things. So when Bethesda, puts out new releases and says, for instance, we're going to give you 500 atoms because we shipped a different bag, and the 500 atoms doesn't even get you anything, and it costs like $24 for new pictures over your emote for the holidays and shit, like, and $18 for a blue paint job on your power armor. Yeah, I'm going to give my opinion on that, and I don't even really have. It's kind of all. This is baffling. It's hilarious though. Whatever. Stealth was never nerfed. I'll go on to reading. I lost my train of thought. Stealth was never nerfed. Melee was never nerfed. The Scorch Beast Queen was never made harder. Okay, well, really quick, I mean, where I got all my information about the Scorch Beast Queen was watching Delrith, who is, associated with the Angry Joe channel on YouTube, watching him fight the Scorch Beast Queen. So he had, like, the best gun in the game. He was doing thousands of damage every shot. He had a whole team of people with him. He went up against the Scorch Beast Queen. This was weeks ago. And literally couldn't even get it down to, I think, like not even 4/5 of its health, because it just had millions upon millions of health and was utterly ridiculous. I don't know about making it harder or not making it harder. That's broken game design, right? So like the poster here for the Reddit post is nitpicking a whole bunch of things that are incorrect. So I don't know why they nitpicked those. And then trying to like draw parallels, saying that we're trying to cause too much outrage. To be clear, this article really isn't about me. It says my name one time, and then of course now me. Money. So I can make a video on it because my name's mentioned, but it's really not about me. It's about the quartering mostly. I mean, the quartering is the one that they called alt-right, like a doofus. That does not apply in the slightest. But I don't know, trying to reverse paint some kind of smearing negative picture of people that are rightly criticizing Fallout 76 is itself one of the most damaging activities that you can participate in within the gaming industry. Because when you're trying to shut down the people that are speaking out against really faulty game design and really predatory practices in terms of monetization, or what could turn into even more predatory practices, when you're trying to silence the people that are speaking for consumer interests, or trying to raise awareness around a product that isn't properly developed, then you are actively hurting the industry. Because if a lot of fans emulate this type of behavior and really reproduce this sort of sentiment across all the different channels, then Bethesda will start to associate this maneuver of making Fallout 76 with defense of their name, defense against criticism, and it won't shut it down. It won't send the message that they need to never do something like this again. So regardless of whether or not you agree that Fallout 76 is one of the biggest disasters in gaming in recent history, which you're totally allowed to disagree with me on, it still matters, since, I mean, the vast majority of players that are playing this game do not like it, or did not like it. And then the whole thing where you can't get refunds on because they didn't do it on Steam. They did it on their own private launcher. And then as soon as you downloaded the game files, you could no longer get a refund. All that kind of stuff is above and beyond. Like, I don't want to see, I say we, and I speak for a large number of people that like this type of content on the channel, but definitely myself, I don't want to see that emulated across the industry. That's ridiculous. That's terrible. Those types of practices, we need to shut it down. We need to criticize them, make sure it doesn't happen. So when you're writing this whole defense piece, trying to smear the YouTubers that are speaking out against things that are not a positive trend, then you're making it worse. You're very literally contributing to the deterioration of the industry. So I don't know. It's funny, right? In one breath, it's a really funny thing to see a post like this. And hey, I guess I'm famous, because the Fallout 76 subreddit poster didn't like, it's whatever. It's funny to see, but in the other, it's truly legitimately damaging to the industry, or can be, and especially if these get, voiced by a lot more people. Anyway, I'll just wrap it up there. That was my response to this hilarious post, which has since been deleted on the subreddit, and kind of, I don't know, I hope I discussed a little further, like, why I cover things the way that I do. People forward information to me. A lot of times it has to do with Twitter, with various subreddits. I don't know. It could be personal discoveries in games. Could have people forward clips to me all the time of certain games and glitches and exploits and all this other stuff. And sometimes I cover things, sometimes I don't. But that's the approach that I like, in advocating for consumer interests and talking about things that I perceive to be a bad thing for the industry. And man, Fallout 76 is not a positive one. Now, there's nothing wrong with you enjoying it. Anybody out there that's playing the game, fine, whatever. Just don't go around trying to silence people that are critical against it, because that's where it gets to be murky waters, because then you really are having a damaging effect. I'll wrap it up there. So basically kind of clickbaited you, because the article wasn't really targeting me. It was, I mentioned me, but it wasn't really about me. But hey, who knows? If I keep going down this track, maybe I'll get my own dedicated one. Maybe I'll get called alt-right next, and who knows? Fun. All right, if you want to support the channel, check out the links down below. This was a really dumb video. I don't know, for anybody that made it this far, I'm going to be going on vacation from the 27th to the 1st or the 2nd of January, so I'll leave in the next week, and then I'll be back about a week after that. So there won't be content during that, but I'll post in the lead up. And yeah, there's other ways to get involved with Upper Echelon if you want to support the channel down below. You got Facebook group, Discord server, our gaming forums, stuff like that. But yeah, I'll stop rambling there. I thought this was a fun one. I had time. I'm sitting here not doing anything, and somebody forwarded that to me and was like, look, did you see your name? So I was like, all right, fine, screw it. Let's make a video. Anyway, calling it there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a nice night.